up, guys? And welcome back to the Frontline Youth Podcast. This is Elijah Tijero, and I'm joined by
Elijah. Once again,
like he never left. Except it's not like he never left, because we literally talked about him leaving in the last episode. And of course, by we, I don't mean him.
because I had left.
Where were you?
I was left and not right. Was that fire, y'all?
Is he fired, y'all?
All right. What the heck? It was like, I don't know.
Something's wrong with him.
There was something on my tongue or something, like, I don't know. It
fly.
spooked me. Don't say that.
Hey, bro.
Not the fly podcast, y'all. There's an insect in this room.
Are flies insects?
Yes. It was a small creature with an exoskeleton. I said, nah, bro, we got to turn this. I don't know how I did that, bro. Exoskeleton. Yo, hey, just restart this episode and time it with like a 10-second time skip to where you don't hear me say that.
On the last full-time episode, full length, 55, Facing Fear. You guys like that episode? Was it good? I'm reading some comments here from the Spotify comments. The question was, what did you think about this episode? Do you have any fears that you've overcome? Someone said, I constantly have a fear that somebody's going to go crazy and make better remixes of my songs.
I know exactly who commented that. What is wrong with you, sir? I mean, that fear is very, valid. And
Someone else. Probably my fear of birds and ducks and chickens.
Did they overcome it?
Maybe. It says, have any fears you overcame.
To be fair, though, I understand that. I don't
know, bro. Birds are...
I don't want you to peck me, scrape me, like grab me. You know what I'm saying? What do birds do?
Peck,
that evil
scrape,
stuff.
Grab.
Yes. Diabolical activity, bro. Birds are kind of nefarious. They have no emotions like cats.
Birds have no emotion?
Huh? You ever seen Sesame Street? Think about Big Bird. Hey, guys, I'm back. I hope you guys are doing well.
Think about Big Bird, he says.
Yeah, I did say think about Big Bird.
Elijah wants you to think about Big Bird.
In the first 5 minutes of an episode as well.
There also, on the YouTube side of things, there is one comment. One.
More on Spotify than on YouTube. Interesting.
And I don't even get it. Shout out to you, though.
Shout out to the one commenter.
You know?
What is it? Another bad joke?
No.
I mean, another quality...
It says 13 men squad.
Oh, maybe at 13 minutes something was said and they are a part of that?
Potentially.
I might be a genius if I just deciphered that. But if not, disregard. Anyway, welcome back to the Frontline Youth Podcast. Or welcome for the first time.
Or that.
It's possible.
It is possible that this is your first time listening. If this is your first time, you're probably like, wow, they've gone 3 minutes without talking about anything relating to the topic. That's how we do things around here.
Amen.
So if you want to judge us, don't. I was about to hit it. I was looking for the button, too. I was about to reach over. Like I don't have a keyboard in front of me.
He's going to give himself a round of applause. I want y'all to think about that. No sound effect for that one. Just think about it. All right, guys.
You've never heard people say, give yourself a round of applause.
Well, you're
super normal.
You're being told that's them congratulating you by telling you should congratulate yourself, which conveys the idea that you deserve it in some way.
Well, let me tell you something. I live in a free plane of spirit and mind. I don't need anybody to tell me to congratulate myself.
Get it?
I already know.
Okay.
When it's time to give myself congratulatory hand clapping.
What?
Hand clapping.
Congratulatory hand clapping.
It's going down.
He's about to fall out of his chair.
I'm not.
He's doing that thing that you shouldn't do in elementary school when you lean back in the chair and the teacher's like, don't do that. And then you just bust your melon on the dirty floor next to the crayons and it's Here Lies Isaiah in the podcast recording studio.
You see what Elijah's doing right now?
What's he doing?
Complaining.
What? No, let me give you a better example of complaining. All right? You stink. All right? I don't know where to go from there. How do you complain about you stink? That's a valid complaint.
It's still complaining?
Yeah.
Maybe you go into like a room or something and there's some dude sitting in the corner and all you see is his name tag. That thing says Josh. And you're like, bro, he stinks. You came in with your friend, so you're sitting next to him. All you can think about is, this guy stinks.
Oh, brother, this guy. Yep.
Sorry. Josh Danke,
Of course.
is who we're talking about.
Not
If your name is Josh, bro, I don't think you stink.
He doesn't think you do.
But I can't know for sure.
So just in case, take
Check
care of that.
Take a whiff.
Take care of that, man.
Take a quick.
Self-check.
Just to make sure. All right. Yes.
You don't need others to tell you that you stink. You live in your own plane of existence. So definitely check for yourself before others know how you smell. But anyway.
I'm about to record this podcast standing up.
Okay.
I'm not, but
I was gonna be sitting down here just watching. He's standing up, guys. I don't think he's okay.
we're talking about complaining today.
I would stand up, but my legs hurt, man.
That's not complaining.
I've been at work all day. All right, my knees hurt, my hips hurt. All people want to do is order sandwiches. Like, I know I work here. No, I don't.
No.
I work.
Don't tell anybody.
I work at a certain place.
You already said. You've said it.
You
said it on an episode.
Nah, no way.
Hmm?
Nah, no way. Hey, if you know what I'm talking about, don't say anything. I'll come find you. Anyway, all anyone wants is a sandwich. Oh, you think you're sweet because you're gonna pull up with the, can I please have the cherry berry frosted? Like, bro, I'm tired of you. These people don't appreciate me. This workplace doesn't even give me any money. Barely any money. Okay, now I'm about to be telling the truth.
Getting a little real.
No, but all I do is work all day. And none of these people can even have the decency to give me a $20 tip. Like, don't they see what this service is worth? And everything else sucks as well. Not only do I work all day, but I come home and you stink.
Please.
I'm trying to make a case.
This
here,
is
bro.
a bit, and I'm annoyed.
Oh my gosh,
That's incredible.
Hey,
What does that make you guys think about complaining? Who wants to hear that? He's pretending. It's so annoying.
Hey, but maybe I did get a little close to the truth. Hey, some of y'all work in similar places, and I've heard similar lines of thought. But yes, bro. Isaiah is roaming this room, looking at me like he's performing a concert without making any sounds. I'm uncomfortable.
I'm pacing. I don't know why. I can stand. It's weird. All right. Complaining. Everyone complains. We've all complained.
Right.
If you're listening and you don't think you've ever complained,
You're lying. Or you're mute or something. Even then, you probably wrote down a complaint or typed
complained
it up.
in your mind.
Yep.
Something. You probably complained about being mute.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, well, I can't speak.
They wouldn't say that.
Well. Okay, let's move on from the mute thing, please, before we get shut down. Listen.
Everyone complains. Everyone at some point has a reason to be upset about something.
Yes.
Babies complain. They complain when they complain by crying.
Right.
Their diaper's full, they cry. They're hungry, they cry. They want to take over the world, they cry.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to do the same cry. But,
Thank you.
but yes, babies do. In our nature, we complain. That's it. For babies, that's the way of getting things that you desire to make you more comfortable and satisfied.
Yeah.
So crying is the way to get everyone else to cater to you when you're a baby.
Word.
When you're a baby. Otherwise,
It's a way to annoy the people close to you.
it is a way to get on everyone's nerves and be a detriment to your own success.
Yes. Are we going in the order of the notes?
Let us go in the order of the notes before I go on again about... Dang, I dropped my phone. That was not me hitting the table this time, y'all.
So we're going to go with what the Bible says about complaining.
Let's do it. Go ahead,
We're going to do the second story first, though.
What? All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the first one is going to be us just telling the story.
Right.
This one is a verse, a set of verses. Numbers chapter 14, verses 26 through 35. What do you mean, wait?
That's like the response to the complaining, though, right? Shouldn't we talk a little bit about the complaining first? He's looking at me, y'all, but it's not like he's doing a concert this time. It looks like I'm doing a concert, and he does not want to be at this concert.
Proceed.
All right, so...
I'm going to get some water real quick.
Oh, he's leaving me. I'm about to tell this story wrong. They're going to be like, this dude ain't no Christian. Hey, this is the best of my ability to my studies. So, the children of Israel are a people, an ancient people, from which many old religious legends and tales are derived in multiple religions, like Islam and Christianity. And anyway, these Hebrew people were in Egypt. Egypt was a major power, and they were enslaved against their will because and they were just harmed.
Labor.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to
Money is
the
a
love of
evil.
money. Yes.
What's that, 47?
Yes, sir. Check that episode out, whichever one it is. Well, anyway.
You see, because now I can remember them based off the songs.
Oh, yeah, because these people, though, are oppressed and tortured and living in terrible conditions. And after many years of suffering and them crying out, what?
Did I say 47?
Yeah, you did.
45.
45. Heard you.
Thought about the song. I said, now I can remember the song.
Yeah,
said it wrong.
Bars. But anyway, so then, what?
No, keep going.
So then, the Lord raises up a deliverer out of Egypt, which was Moses. He was gonna be like this grand adopted son of the Pharaoh, and he was like, "Nah, man, my people are enslaved." Mm-hmm. And so, even though he was reluctant, God leads him to do all this crazy stuff and get those people out of Egypt, finally, out of their captivity. And everyone was so happy for about 2 weeks. Isaiah?
Mm-hmm.
What happened after?
The Israelites... They were in the wilderness.
Yes, they were wandering
for some days.
They were being led to a place.
To a place. God had promised them a land. A promised land, if you will.
If you will.
I think it was Canaan.
Canaan, if you will.
The land flowing with milk and honey.
And honey, if you will.
You think it was cow's milk or goat milk? Probably goat.
Pigeon milk. My bad, y'all.
Whale milk. Dog milk.
Ooh. Dolphin milk.
Bear milk. Yuck. But y'all, cow's milk, that's normal.
Soy milk.
I'm telling you, I prefer oat milk to regular milk because what am I doing drinking a cow's milk?
Why are we talking about that?
Anyway,
Are there other kinds of honey as well?
no.
Is it just different types of bees and bee-like creatures?
I think it's just bees.
Dang, the bee's knees. Maybe earwax is like honey, right?
The land
Go ahead,
flowing with milk and honey.
If you will.
If you will. They're in the wilderness, going there. But as they're going, they're not having too great a time. They're like, bro, it was better in slavery.
Idiots. Already that was just a dumb thing to say.
What? They obviously don't know. Anyway. So they were complaining, at least in Egypt, we could eat leeks and melons or something, bro. They're going crazy.
Struggle meals, bro.
Bro, so the Lord is blessing them with manna from heaven. And they're eating the manna, heavenly bread. They're like, yes.
It's falling out of the sky, and it's
God
amazing and sweet like honey.
Bread. Few days go by. All right, bro. This bread sucks, is what they start saying. They're like, manna again? They call this bread heavenly bread, but like low key, bro, how many times can it be heavenly bread? It's been days. This isn't heavenly bread anymore. Now, some might think you getting free food and you're complaining? No more free food for you. But no, they went to Moses and they're like, Moses is the deliverer guy. The deliverer. We can't just keep eating heavenly bread, flour from the sky, from the heavens. We want meat. Meat.
Not Arby's, y'all.
So Moses petitioned the Lord. The Lord said, all right, bet. I'll send him some chicken. He sent him quail, but close enough.
Yep.
Whole bunch of quail. However, the Lord said, all right, this is the quail for today. Don't try to take too much. Don't try to hoard quail meat for later.
I'm going to keep providing.
I'm provide. Here's the quail. Eat the quail. Don't worry about tomorrow. I got you. Some people did not listen. They saved quail, cooked it the next morning, fed it to their family members. Everyone got sick. Diseased. Did they die? I don't remember. Potentially.
Something about eating so much quail.
Yes, it was coming out of their
noses.
Disgusting.
You ever eaten so much Bojangles chicken? It was, what's the word? Never mind. All those words are nasty. I don't know. It was emerging out of your out of your nostrils. I don't think so. I just had to ask.
They're complaining about this food.
Yes.
Complaining about water.
Unlimited free fruit from the sky in the desert.
There's no water. Water. So then the Lord tells Moses, speak to a rock. Oh, no. First time he said, hit the rock with your staff. Water will come out. He did that. Boom. Thank you. Great water.
Thank you.
The best water we've ever had. But of course, it wasn't enough for them. Later, we want more fresh. Can you go hit another rock, Moses? Where's the water at? They're being punks. Anyway, the Lord's like, all right, Moses, this time I want you to speak to the rock.
Not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys. Go ahead, speak.
They didn't know each other. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's famous. Of course Moses didn't know him. I'm playing. Speak to the rock.
Speak to the rock.
Speak to the rock.
Yes.
But Moses, he's been hearing all this dang complaining. And like we mentioned at the start of this, bro, nobody likes to hear complaining.
At all.
So Moses, he's pressed. Just vexed in his spirit, if you will. He's upset. He's like beating the rock. He's supposed to talk to it. He was like, nah.
I'm about to go in on this rock.
Beating that rock. Sorry. And yeah. That was his reaction to the the complaining of the Israelites. Moving forward, they get to Canaan. They get to the promised land. They're sitting outside. They send in some scouts. Hey, y'all, go check out Canaan. What's it looking like in there? The promised land, if you will. If you will. They go in. They scan. They observe. They look. They come back with a report. There were 12 of them, right?
Something like that, yo.
There were 12 spies.
Something like that, yo.
10 of them come back. Well, first of all 12 of them come back, and they're like, there were grapes as big as apples or something crazy. Big bushels of grapes.
Big bustling bushels of grapes.
Great big bonkers,
big
bustling,
buoyant, bustling bunches of
and
breezy,
bushels of grapes.
It was bonkers.
And the milk and the honey, it was there too. This is all 12 of them. But then 10 of them are like, but the Canaanites, bro, they big. They're giants. We're like ants to them. They would crush us and defeat us, and we'd lose, and we suck,
guys,
and we can't win.
Canaan is so scary.
I can't believe God brought us to a promised land,
honestly,
full of giants. What is he?
What does he think we're here for, you know?
What kind of idea was this?
If only we could go back and eat leeks and melons.
Two of the spies out of the 12 were not so
Caleb,
foolish. Right? Joshua and Caleb, yes. Joshua and Caleb were like, this is the land that the Lord has given us. We can take them.
Why are they country?
I did not make them country.
This is the land the Lord has given us.
All right, you did that.
We can take them. We're not gonna take it. All right.
We're not gonna take it. All right.
If you know that song, shout out.
I'm sure I'm butchering it.
Yeah, it's okay.
But they said, the Lord has given us this land. We can do it.
We can do it.
But they weren't feeling it. They're like, no. We cannot do it. We're not gonna be able to beat them. So then the Lord had a message for him. Had something to say about it. He was like, okay, I brought you out of slavery. I lead you to a promised land full of milk and honey and big bushels of grapes. I gave you heavenly manna from the sky and chicken. Quail.
And chicken, if you will.
And you're still complaining? All right.
Okay.
Numbers chapter 14, verses 26 through 35. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, how long will this wicked community grumble against me? I've heard the complaints of these grumbling Israelites. So tell them, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very thing I heard you say. In this wilderness, your bodies will fall. Every one of you, 20 years old or more, who was counted in the census and who has grumbled against me, not one of you will enter the land I swore with uplifted hand to make your home, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun, spelled N-U-N. As for your children that you said would be taken as plunder, I'll bring them to enjoy the land you've rejected. But as for you, your bodies will fall in this wilderness. Your children will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness until the last of your bodies lies in the wilderness. For 40 years, 1 year for each of the 40 days you explored the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it is like to have me against you. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will surely do these things to this whole wicked community which has banded together against me. They will meet their end in this wilderness. Here they will die. The Lord was not playing, unlike Elijah.
Oh, hey! What? I had already hit the big bomb, and I was like, dang, I should have saved it. The gong was okay. It was the announcement, bro. It's like, hey, that's it. We not getting in.
That was the Lord's response to the complaints against him.
Yes.
Death.
Yes.
Your bodies will lie in the wilderness. He said that like 5 times.
You know what that reminds me of? That's a very, very, very much less extreme version of the same kind of lesson. Can you explain one more time what Frontline Youth is, bro? Like the meetings? Just very briefly.
Oh, Lord. This is where we come together. Came together, because I'm not. Young people will come together.
You're going to be there next week. My bad, y'all. They putting in the work.
And they will hear maybe a message. Maybe it'll be a discussion revolving around certain topics that, you know, are biblical.
Right.
Have to do with your walk with the Lord. Kind of like this podcast, but a little bit more profesh. No gongs.
A lot of bit more.
A lot of bit. Well, you could still talk, so technically
All
you can raise your hand.
I don't have a soundboard in real life.
You don't be doing boom.
I do. But there's like nobody needed to know that. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, you do that.
Hey,
Elijah be trying to make sound effects,
bro,
with his mouth.
All right, listen. Exactly.
Anyway,
right.
that's the point of Fly.
If
Fly,
you
we
will.
come together. It's even after that. It's a time of fellowship.
Yes.
We eat. Food.
Isaiah knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I do, and we enjoy that.
So let me tell you.
Yeah.
When you get a group of people together, especially hungry people like teenagers, broke people like teenagers, the best thing to do is share a bunch of boxes of pizza. It's a no-brainer.
Oh, yes, sir.
Wings to feed everyone would cost way too much more. Getting everybody a little sandwich, that's too much. That costs more as well. And it's just not as diverse. You can't just hand everybody a slice or maybe 2 slices. There's nothing like having a bunch of pizza to feed a group of hungry, broke people.
People in general. Pizza is the most shareable food. And that's the end of that sentence.
It's got to be one of the most shareable.
It's the only one.
The most, single most. It could be.
What's more? Nothing.
You know what? Pizza is one of the most shareable meals on the planet.
On the planet.
And so that's the way it's always been in any teen ministry we've been a part of, honestly, and many other ministries. When we did some construction for the church, there was a time we got Chinese food. That was interesting. But pizza. Some kind of meeting about something with the church, pizza. You have a party at your school, pizza.
It's the end all be all.
Come on now.
Of gatherings and food.
So naturally, because of this, the leaders of the ministry, who shout out to them at the time, were paying for the pizza out of their pockets every week. They got pizza. And these people, and I will say these people because I for sure was not one of them, but I wouldn't put myself past being a complainer. But in this situation, I was not. But anyway, it was like, pizza again? It starts with a few. Then anybody else who kind of had thought that before is like, you know what? They're right. Pizza again? I won't have it. That wasn't loud enough. But anyway, just being like, you know what? I'm tired of this pizza stuff. Whose idea is it to get pizza again and again and again? Now, everyone had a whole lot of fun spewing these opinions. It was not so fun when the people paying for it were like, oh, I understand.
You don't want any.
You guys don't want pizza. Everyone starts sweating. Okay, see you next week. We saw him next week. You know what we didn't see next week? Pizza.
So what do we have?
We had thoughts of contempt and bitterness and gnashing of teeth and loathing
and repentance.
Yes, godly sorrow and a face full of ashes and hot coals.
Gnashing of teeth with nothing to gnash on, bro.
Exactly. Just teeth.
Just hungry.
Yes, bro.
Still hungry.
Wishing
still broke.
for some pizza. Yes. Yes.
Now foodless.
Now foodless. And this was the lesson for the Israelites, except they complained about the food all day and they got more food. And they still were just a bunch of sorry complainers. Now, an important thing to note is when you read stories like this and there are the bad guys in it, make sure you take a turn and see yourself as the bad guy just for the one time or the 2 or 3 times or how many ever times it takes so that you can get the proper perspective. Because at some point in our lives, like we've said at the beginning, all of us have been nasty complainers, ungrateful people just like them. But yeah.
Maybe not just like them, bro.
I don't know. They were kind of tripping.
They were going insane.
I bet you there are some people who weren't that crazy about the Canaan thing and weren't that upset really about the manna, but everybody was like, yeah, this stuff sucks.
Nah, bro, the Bible said just what we read. It said, I will do to you the very thing I heard you say.
That's true.
Which means they all said, we're going to die out here. It's not gonna... They did.
He's like, oh, we're never going to get there. We're never going to get any good food. You right. Enjoy that, man.
Oh, and then they're talking about how their kids will be taken as plunder.
Our kids, our children.
If we go into Canaan, those giants are going to take our kids and use them as slaves or something.
So now God's like, all right, I'm going to wait until they're no longer kids, and hopefully they'll be smarter than their parents, and then they're going to go
Now
take
they got to
land.
wait 40 years. As for you guys, your bodies will fall in the wilderness.
I'm sure, bro, every last one of them was like, dang it. What have I done? It wasn't there last time I pressed the button. I just had to use my voice.
I turn it off? I guess that sound effect was kind of...
It was at that point, though, that they knew they had colossally messed up. And sometimes with complaining, it can really, really get that way. I can't think of a particular story right now, and I know we got more notes. But sometimes this can happen in your relationships when you don't really mean to. But sometimes complaining is like a natural gut reaction. There's something you kind of don't like, and you're like, oh, let me tell everybody real quick. It just happens from time to time when you're not thinking.
Who does that?
And sometimes...
It's me, guys. I do that.
Say somebody had, like, prepared a nice meal for you. You sit down to enjoy it together. The sun is shining, all right? The birds are singing. That's their song. And you guys are just... That's not a good song for the birds. The gong was beauty. And, all right. But anyway, you're just enjoying the day, you know? There's love and strength between you guys. And then you take a bite and you're like, man. What am I saying man about? Oh, this is just dry, you know? Bro. You know what's about to be dry next time? Your plate. My bad, but
It might have been dry
yeah,
already.
you're right. Shut up.
Because the food dry.
But you know, the thing is, sometimes you just let out complaints like it's nothing, and it was something to the person who is trying to help you out or something. It can just, like, imagine, we always use the example of marriage. Josh Danke sits down with Jane Danke, and they're eating their meal, and he's like, man,
I
this
wonder
is
how
dry.
many wives Josh has had.
Hey, bro.
We've changed her name.
Hey, Jill, Jane, Josh doing his thing.
Willamette.
What?
That's the saying the name.
That's not no name, bro. That's an incantation.
Willamette.
That's not a name. Is it like female William?
It's a place.
Ignore what I said, because that actually didn't sound very smart coming from me just now. Y'all. Anyway.
It means still water. It's not a name for people, though.
It's Willamette. I don't know where you've ever heard that. But anyway. And you're like, man, oh, Jane? Yeah, it's just dry, that's all. She might be like, oh, Josh, you're such a picky eater, and she plays it off. But man,
in her soul,
when you guys get up and you're done eating, and hopefully you're taking care of your own dishes, unless I guess that's just not what you do. But yo, don't be leaving people to take your dishes. That was random. Anyway.
Hey, bro, however your household works.
You're right. I'm not going to get in your way.
Because not everybody, some people operate different, bro.
This is truth. But,
they got it. So that, look, we got to do this women episode so badly. I don't know how many times.
Why you going to bring that up when I'm talking about doing your dishes?
Because I'm saying some people feel like that's the role.
Oh, yeah, I feel you.
Hey, I don't think that. But if you think that doesn't mean you're wrong, I guess.
So anyway, you guys are doing your dishes, and you're just like, man, yeah, that meal was kind of dry, but I think it was okay. That's what's going on in your head. And you're like, man, I really appreciate my wife, though. And Jane Danke is like, oh, my gosh, my day is ruined. I just spent so long making this meal. I was inspired. I sang while I cooked it. I put my heart and soul and foot into it. And then all he said is that it was dry. I guess I'm worthless. Is that a bit dramatic? Maybe not. It depends on how much of a pattern this is in their life, bro. But anyway, that little complaint, it was just a quick little word off the tongue. Ruined. Then she's going to be mad later, and he's going to be like, Jane, why are you mad at me? She's like, oh, you've just been a little dry. I missed the button like 5 times. But anyway.
Bro.
There's my point, if you will.
All I can think about, bro. I'm sorry, listeners, but I'm doing it.
Uh-oh.
It's not that serious, but it's like, you ever go into a room or something, go somewhere?
No.
And you're like,
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
And you're like, it stinks in here. Is somebody like, you ain't mean like, sometimes you'll be polite or something, but you're like, what's that smell? It's
what?
It's the person. They stink.
Oh, okay.
And you've inadvertently brought attention to it.
Right.
Maybe they were doing something. Maybe they came back from tennis practice.
Maybe they were farting on a little bit on the low, and they were gonna get by like the rest of us do. But no,
something stinks. Sorry. That's all I could. Y'all don't look. You guys listening, don't act like you've never done something where you unfortunately insult someone without trying.
Bro.
You come in, bro, this room is so messy, bro. Or I don't know. Didn't your mom teach you? They have no mom. It's like,
right. Yeah.
My fault.
Before we move on to the next real point, speaking of when I was away for the last episode, where I was away at, I learned an important lesson that I had already kind of known, but I just learned it deeper. Curry is like second place to manna from heaven, bro. It's one of God's gifts to the world. When he was creating the human intellect, he was like, I've got to let these people be able to make curry. Now, there are all different types of curry, but it's the essence of flavor. It's not about the look of the dish necessarily. Sometimes a curry prepared dish, it could all just look like one big monocolor thing. But every bite is like golden goodness from heaven. Like
Golden?
Sure, I don't know.
Sorry, I was thinking.
Hey, they got all different kinds of colors.
Yeah, but yellow curry is not my favorite.
Nah, bro. There was like this Chinese lemon one, and it was very yellow, and I did not know what it was going to taste like. It was crazy. But anyway.
Crazy good?
So, listen.
Okay.
Of all the curries I've had, one of my favorites is the one, the kind that is prominent in the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, as incorrect people say. And listen, we spent, big voice crack. We spent a good part of our youth, childhood growing up in Guyana. Some formative years were in Guyana, South America. And that's where we had a lot of it. I think that's where my mother learned how to make it real good. And she is an expert. I don't care what nobody else says. My mother is an expert at making curry. We had some at the house one time. There's a young child over. Bro, curry has a very, this kind of curry has a very, like, kind of saucy, sloppy looking appearance. And it's like, sometimes it can be kind of, anyway, it's good. It tastes delicious. But like I said, it's not about the look. Mm-hmm. A young child is eating over at the house. We're at the table. Everyone's preparing to dig in. She looks to her own mom. Mom, this looks like poop. Now, it's a good thing my mother is not like sensitive. If y'all know her, bro, you know.
Yeah.
She's
not
about
emotional.
That. Yeah, she's not about that soft life. Not that she doesn't have emotions, but like not on that. But anyway, what? He was looking at me with the concert look again. The My Bad concert, his unappreciating audience.
Nah, I was referencing something that only he would get.
Oh.
Because I said emotional. Mentioned it.
Oh. Stupid.
I'm buying that.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yes. This little girl with this little complaint, bro, my mom didn't even care because she knew the food was good and the rest of us did too. And these people, they were not strangers in our home. They're very, very welcome people. But I was looking over like that was the stupidest thing this young mind has ever produced. But it was okay. I understand. My bad.
Elijah has no grace for children. That's the takeaway.
Honestly, kids ain't worth nothing unless they grow up for 40 years in the wilderness. My bad. Go ahead.
Sometimes.
Go ahead to the next real point. You could actually cut that last.
It's
like
more
10 seconds
about
out.
setting in which you choose to complain.
Fact.
Because complaining is not necessarily always bad. We have an article here that I'm going to read some of.
Hey.
The title of the article is "Complaining in Small Doses Can Actually Be Good for You." Here's why. And then it starts off so corny. Elijah wrote this probably.
Okay.
Did
y'all hear that crazy attack? I did not write this article.
Are you about to complain? Like a shaken bottle of carbonated goodness, when we are under pressure, we can sometimes feel the urge to explode in complaints.
Boy.
Yeah, that's why your
the buttons didn't work? I can't do that at the same time? All right, you can't do that at the same time.
There are some stress-relieving benefits to complaining, though they diminish when complaining slips into a more serious mode of anger and rumination. Voicing frustrations in small doses, however, does have its place as a stress reliever. So you mean to say that there are benefits to complaining? Why, yes. Letting your bottled up emotions, shout out that episode.
Bottled up.
That's 47. Can be cathartic and at times eye-opening when done right. Here are some of the reasons why people are often prone to complaining. Sometimes we need to vent. Many effective stress management techniques focus on the benefits of a positive outlook. Positive thinking brings great benefits, and a cheerful attitude can be contagious in the most enjoyable way.
Fact.
On the other hand, A constant focus on the negative can obscure many of the joys of life, dampen an attitude of gratitude, and be experienced as an energy drain to others. But letting it all out can relieve the inner tension we feel from a difficult situation and help us feel ready to face the next frustration. Sometimes we just need to blow off steam by expressing ourselves. All right, we're going to stop there for a second. We're going to keep reading, but let's talk about this.
Okay.
The need to vent.
I had to do it at least once.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you understood that, Vine Boom, I love you. The need to vent, guys. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
See, now I get it.
See? Now I love you. Go ahead, though.
You're supposed to love me anyway.
But now I really do.
All right, you're fired. All right.
Okay. I don't love you no more. Anyway.
Oftentimes, when we complain about things, it's just because we just, I don't know, we want to let it out.
Yeah.
It's like you're going through some stuff, all kinds of things on your mind, and you're like, gosh, this sucks. That was a bit loud.
Sometimes there's a type of oh, were you not done?
No,
my bad.
He's fired. But in you doing that little outburst, that complaint, that feeling, you feel it a little bit like, yeah, this sucks, whatever. You don't ignore it, but it's like, now I've said it. That's how I feel. Let's move on.
Yeah. I was going to say sometimes the attitude behind a complaint, like it's a complaint, but it's just not like bitter and sour. So it's not bad. You're acknowledging a bad situation, but the document you were just reading phrased it really well. It's about preparing to face the next frustration with a good attitude. So it's like maybe you're in the military and you just did 4 billion push-ups. And it's like, oh my gosh, more push-ups, more running, man. Let's do it, or whatever. Or you're taking a standardized test, and you're like, you could be next to someone you've never spoken to before, and you're like, number 12, huh? That was just terrible. Or whatever. And he's like, bro, I'm telling you, I was trying so hard, but like, who writes these tests? That question was in hieroglyphics. And y'all laugh and whatever. And you're complaining about the test and the experience that you're facing. But all it serves to do is make the situation lighter. It builds a bond between you guys because you're empathizing over the way you feel about the test. And you're ready to do the next ridiculous question. And you're like, man, that question is crazy. But you're not like, this question. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of attitude, and it's not so bad.
Yes.
It's not the bad kind of complaint. It's the healthy kind.
That runs into the next point here in the article. Validation feels good. And I'm reading verbatim here. Often when we are frustrated or feel wronged in some way, feeling emotional validation from another person is like a salve for our bruised egos. Hearing someone say, I know how you feel. I'd be frustrated too, can feel like a warm hug. After getting some quick validation, like scraped up children who have just received a kiss from mom, we feel confident to venture back out and face our problems. So sometimes, and we say this all the time, bro, you got to share your stuff. You got to share how you're feeling. It's not necessarily you're a big baby, you're whining about everything.
Right.
But it's like you're going through something and you're like, and it's just like, here, let me pose an example.
He just, bro, okay. He's about to do, I think it's hypothetical. I'm not sure if he's about to say a real thing or not, but he just took on the emotion like it was real. This is method acting in the flesh. If you've ever seen it, bro, I wish y'all could look upon this guy's expression, the stress he just took on. Go ahead, bro.
No, it's fake. No, it's.
Why do you call it the first time?
I was in the zone. Now I'm just doing it because I know you laugh.
Look, imagine y'all ever seen Batman like sitting on top of the gargoyle in Gotham City and he's like pondering? That was Isaiah just now.
All right,
go ahead though. My bad.
You need some validation. You're sitting with your friend. You're talking and you're like, look, friend, who was unnamed. I keep going to school. I'm in class. Explain to me how in this course, at this school, you can get an 85 in the class and it's a C. I mean, I come from high school. You know, I went from high school into college, and in high school, it was a 10-point grading scale, 70 and above C, 80 and above B, 90 and above A. And that just makes sense. So tell me why they decided to switch it up. And your friend is like, yeah, what? That's not fair. And guess what they didn't do? Change it. They didn't fix it. The grade has not changed. They did not make it so that an 85 is a B like it's supposed to. But because you were able to share that and they understood where you were coming from, and they said, like it says in the article, I know how you feel. I'd be frustrated too. Now you're like, so I'm not crazy. Right. This does suck. And you agree.
Yes.
And then, just like we were saying before, it can help us to get ready to face the next frustration. It's like, all right, we talked about it. We all know it sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. Let's move on. But sometimes there is something you can do about it. Did you have something you wanted to say before I move on to the next point? Bet. Solutions can feel even better.
Even better, guys.
This is verbatim. Approaching a problem as a team can pool the strengths of several people at once. Complaining to others about what is bothering you opens you up to their input and perhaps some solutions you hadn't thought of. People often engage in complaining as a way to ask for help. So, again, you're with your friend, you're talking about something that's bothering you. Let's switch it up to something else. I bought this new cereal at the store.
Right.
I think it was called, and they've never had this before. They didn't know it was the best cereal on the planet. Corn. Kellogg's Corn Pops. That's my favorite cereal.
He is so weird, guys.
Whatever. That's my favorite because it's the best. Anyway, but it just doesn't taste good. And their friend is like, what? It doesn't taste good? What do you mean? And they're like, yeah, I don't know. Like, every time I pour my cereal into my water, it just doesn't taste right. Now you've complained. Your friend can be like, into your what? We broke everything. All right, we're back.
Hey, guys. My water, though.
My water. And we broke it again. All right. My water. And the friend is like, look, man. Look, pal.
Hey, buddy, old boy.
If you want to enjoy Corn Pops to the best. And, bro, I just remembered Joe Biden.
All right, we are not talking about that. No way. Please continue talking about Kellogg's cereal and not our president's famous adversary, bro.
You got to put it in milk, man. Milk? You complained. This cereal sucks. This doesn't taste good. I guess you've eaten other cereals with water and they did taste good. So something's wrong with you to begin with your brain, with your mind.
Or they've discovered something. Yeah, there's probably something wrong with them. Never, let me not even.
But because you complained to a friend, not only were they didn't say, I know how you feel. They had a solution. So because you complained, you opened yourself up to some feedback, answers. And that's another reason why complaining to your friends, to people, isn't always a negative thing.
Yeah.
And then this final point here, which is one that people don't like. we may need another perspective. Again, this is verbatim. When we are too close to a situation, it's common to only see our own perspective and to see the problems we face as magnified and sometimes distorted. Sometimes it helps to tell a trusted friend what we're facing and see if there's something that we're not seeing or if there is a different way to look at the same situation. If we are open to hearing new input, it could be quite helpful to step outside of our own point of view and see what others think of our complaints. So I'm going to use the same example. Maybe your perspective was corn pops in rice in water are not good.
They probably wouldn't be good in rice either.
No, they would.
He's crazy.
You want to talk about crazy?
No.
Want to talk about how you love to put crispy?
Hey, tell him about it.
No.
Go ahead and tell him.
No.
Hey, no, I'm telling him. Hey, listen, y'all. If you ever had roti, look it up. All right.
Was it roti or puri?
It was puri, but puri is harder to explain, but it's roti based. Okay. All right. It's just like a nice thin bread thing that's good and tasty and yummy all by itself if you warm it up. Right.
Google roti.
ROTI. Not to be confused with ROTC, the military program for youths.
Although this roti don't look right. I just Googled roti. This is tortillas.
Wait, let me look. They do, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Look up, bus up, shut.
Yeah.
Exactly how it sounds like it's spelled. Look that up. You'll get the right thing. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That's that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm eating some of this, if you will, and I'm like, you know what? And this was a struggle meal, y'all, because I got up in the morning.
Struggle is right.
And then be quiet. And I had school and work and everything. And I think it was like, we had church the same night. Okay, so by like 9 p.m., I had eaten a sandwich from my place of work, and I was it. So I was hungry. And we had some leftover roti in the house. I microwave it, put it on my plate. We had some Walmart crispy seasoned onions salad topping. I'm like, why not add some crunch? I sprinkle them things on this roti, bundle it up like how some people eat pizza, and I ate it. And it was good. Hallelujah. I enjoyed it thoroughly. My brother Isaiah and my dad were also in attendance. They said, "What are you doing?" And they just didn't know. But there's nothing wrong with that. Guys, if you look up these ingredients that I'm talking about, first the roti and then the Walmart
I don't know where you gonna
seasoned
find
crispy
roti at,
onions. Try them. Put them together, bro. It's not that weird. It was good. And they're just simply hating. But please, let's not talk about crazy. This came from putting Kellogg's puffs, what are they called? Pops in rice. No way. Not even comparable. But what were we talking about before then? I'm so sorry, guys. I had to defend my honor real quick. Real quick.
Because he just told you guys his sins are before you.
No, bro. I have faith that it's going to be okay. When they look at it, they're going to be like, you know what? He's not tripping. That was probably good. What? He's making a disgusted face at the laptop.
I was looking up corn pops, which, again, my favorite cereal.
Right.
And they going to show me Kellogg's Icy. They've made a cereal based on Slurpee flavors. What's wrong with them?
Shout out to my boys at 7-Eleven.
Feel the freeze. Cools your mouth as you eat.
That's trash.
What did they put in it? Freon?
That is a great question. You should probably be concerned if your child is eating food that makes your mouth cold. Seek help. Seek a medical professional.
All right. The reason we were talking about any of those things at all is because when they complained about having their corn pops in water, Their friend was able to offer another perspective.
Right.
They're like, no, you know what? I'm making a new example. One that's way better.
Word up.
Let's say you're talking to your friend.
Impossible. Go ahead.
I don't know what's going on with my girlfriend. You're talking to your friend or boyfriend, whatever you like. That's neither here nor there.
You're talking.
And it would appear that I'm talking to my significant other, but it just, I don't know. They seem to not want to be around me. It's like, I don't know. You're supposed to want to spend time with your significant other, but they seem to, I don't know. I look at them, I'm talking to them, and it's almost as if they have something they want to tell me, but they just won't. And I'm like, why can't you just, if we're going to be together, share how you feel.
Yeah.
And the friend is like, I think I know why they're acting this way. And you're like, huh? You do? And they're here. Now, this is them offering a perspective, the perspective of your significant other. Honey, you stink.
Wait, the friend?
The friend is telling you that you stink. You asked for advice.
The friend is calling you honey, though?
Yeah. I'm imagining that it's two girls talking about her boyfriend.
Oh. Girls are weird, man.
Just a little bit.
I know that was very elementary of me to say, but like, yo.
Fine. Hello, friend.
You stink.
You stink. What? When's the last time you showered? They start counting on their fingers. December?
If you're listening to this and it's way out of chronological space and you don't know, look at the time that this episode was released. It was recorded the day before. It's not December
at all. Anyway, now you've complained. You brought up your woes, and your friend was able to not only provide a solution like we were talking about earlier, but they provided the solution because they were able to see from outside of your perspective. They could see, oh, you just see your boyfriend not talking to you, but I see your boyfriend avoiding your stench.
Okay.
Hey, bro, you need to have friends that talk to you and be real with you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I think we're done with this article now.
One more real with you example. Maybe this wouldn't be that helpful, but maybe it would. It depends. Say you were applying into a bunch of colleges and you didn't get in, and you're like, I feel like everything's just against me, and it's probably because, and you give all the wrong excuses. It's because I'm short, and they found out that I'm short, and they don't want short students at their school. And one time, I don't know, I didn't go to prom when everyone else went to prom. And then all my friends probably go to that school that I wanted to get into, and they're like, oh yeah, they talked to the administration and made sure that I can't get in because I didn't go to prom and I'm not cool and they don't want me to go and not show up to events. And your friend is like, listen, Josh, you didn't pass a single class this entire school year.
You stupid. Sorry.
Or he's not trying his best.
Or that. If you're failing courses, it's not because you're stupid. Well, okay, I can't say that for sure. It's probably not because you're stupid.
Dang.
You just need to apply yourself.
You being real. Hey. Anyway, and that didn't feel too nice for Josh to hear, but now his friend has helped him to be more realistic and not blame all of his problems on everyone else and their personal feelings against him, but more like he needs to make some different decisions. And maybe he might after that.
Maybe.
But this speaks to the idea of complaining in the right circumstance, because in these situations where you're able to learn from someone around you, you complain to somebody who wasn't directly involved in the situation and who is a trustworthy person that cares about you, which are very important details. Because let's say you complain to the boyfriend that he's not talking to you, and then he has a hard time telling you that you stink. And that's just a difficult situation for both of you, where you could complain to someone who's not directly involved, so you're not going to hurt them by complaining about it, and they can offer an unbiased opinion for you to be educated by, and you can trust the opinion because they're not trying to win the argument because they were never part of it or whatever. And it's also bad to complain when some of the people aren't really going to get it. Like, there have been times where I've had complaints about things my parents did or other things like that. I'm not going to complain to the internet about it or any uncontrolled space about it, because then the people they're going to be like, oh, yeah, your parents are terrible. And I don't think that. I could complain to one of my brothers who live with these parents, and they'd be like, yeah, Dad does be doing that from time to time, man. It is what it is. And then, you know, we get through it. But it's not like, yeah, Dad stinks. He's just the worst. So the setting of your complaining matters. You can't just complain to anyone and everyone all the time. You gotta take your complaints to the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's mad quiet because we are an hour and 6 minutes in.
Dang.
And I don't know if we should continue or if we should close it out.
We should close it out.
Let's close it out. All right, y'all. This is the best part. This is the best part. Quality over quantity. Sorry.
You're wannabe.
You're a mini.
I mean, yeah.
You're a pipsqueak.
Anyway, they don't know that song.
You are
Nobody
officially
knows that song.
the mayor of Mid. It's your city, and it's filthy. We've got to clean up the streets. Get the mid off the streets.
Somebody's looking it up right now.
Yeah, the song's it's interesting. All right. So obviously, this episode was about complaining, whining, being a little baby. Now,
Being a little baby.
But to tie it into what we're doing now, a lot of times we complain because either we don't have somebody to help us through our problems, or we don't have anything to hope for. You know, it can start to feel like, gosh, all these things, you know, they all suck. Everything's the worst. Maybe you start to think about that for yourself. I'm the worst. I literally only said that so I could say, I hate myself.
Shout out to you, sir. I know at least two of you, sirs. I know at least one of you is listening. And you know what we're talking about. Great song. Go ahead, though.
But, you know, complaining and whatnot, it doesn't really benefit you to complain about the issues of your life just to complain. You know what I mean? The Bible says to ask and you shall receive. Obviously talking about you ask God, right? So if you have concerns, you have problems, instead of, you know, complaining about them, you can ask God to help you with those things. But in order to do that, you need to have a relationship with him.
Fact.
And the way that you do that is actually quite simple. You have to first admit to the sin that you've lived in and ask God for his forgiveness. And then you have to, moving forward, live your life avoiding sin and avoiding going outside of God's will. And Yeah, those 2 easy steps. Doctors hate them. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, doctors hate him. Solve your issue of sin in 2 easy steps. No, but here's a popular portion of Bible verses that gets passed around pretty commonly, and I think is very useful in this exact context. So I'm going to read it. It's 1 Peter chapter 5, and I'm going to read 6 through 9. It says, "Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Resist him, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world." I'm going to read verse 10 too. "But may the God of all grace, who called us to his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after you have suffered a while, perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you." My bad for the I fumbled, but
He said suffered.
But yeah, so basically,
That's a secret word.
you can bring all your complaints to God. Now, complaints about God, usually not that effective. It's always best to talk to him, even if you're confused. Just talk to him, please. But anyway, you can cast your cares on God because he cares for you and he's going to help you solve them. And after you first say your prayer and you're trying to establish a relationship with God, be sober and be vigilant. Come on, guys. I can't read. Can I read? Because the truth is there are a lot of things in this world and in our nature that will be trying to pull you away from living for God because they don't want to see a good thing happen. However, rest in the knowledge that you're not alone in your suffering or in your difficulty or temptation. God understands what you're going through, and he just wants you to talk to him, and he will perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. Fact. So, we're going to say a prayer real quick. Who is going to lead the prayer? Isaiah. And if you like to engage in the prayer, it doesn't take any qualifications. It doesn't take any special preparations. You don't need to face a certain way. Just open your mind and know that you're not talking to the air around you, but you're talking to the real God who's listening and cares for you.
Yeah. All right. Oh, one caveat. There is one requirement, and that is that you are sincere. I'm going to say this prayer, and I want you to repeat after me, but don't just repeat after me. You know what I mean? Say it, mean it, really contemplate the words that you're saying and the gravity that they hold. So, repeat after me. Say, "Dear God, I admit that I'm a sinner, but I know that you sent your son to die on the cross for my sins. I accept that gift, and I ask that you will remove my sin from my record, that you would give me a clean slate and help me to continue to live according to your will. I ask these things in your mighty name. Amen."
Amen.
Now you're in the Cool Kids Club. I have to say it every time, bro. Welcome.
That was perfectly timed. Enter and fight.
Now all you got to, hey, if you said that prayer and you don't have a pastor or a church you go to, hit us up. Email us. That's at frontlineyouth.nc@gmail.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram. I never know what our ad is, but odds are you know it.
At @fly_podcast.
Oh, he's a genius.
He might be.
Yes. Hit us up. We could talk you through it, help you get in contact, maybe find a church that you can go to, a community, because it's better to do it with homies than to do it by yourself.
Facts.
We got an episode about that too.
Facts.
All right. Secret word time. Suffered. Sorry.
Secret word, guys. What is the secret Word.
And the point of the secret word is to put in the comments. Y'all need to start commenting. Come back.
Please.
Or else.
Isaiah is doing the...
Check your inbox.
He's doing the dangerous lean, and so I nominate the word lean as the secret word for this episode. So, don't lean on your own understanding. Sometimes when you don't eat a lot, you can end up feeling pretty lean.
This episode is better than drinking lean.
And with that, you're so... I just...
And with that, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.